Hey guys, good afternoon. Actually, got home getting this video going a little later than usual. I was out all day, and I was talking on the phone with a new guy again. Not going to say his name, of course, but he's a good friend and a guy I'm sponsoring, and he's been having a hard time. He's been struggling, and this message is not just for people that are new, but it is, I like to mostly talk to people that are new, but somebody struggling, you could have years of sobriety, but still be struggling, in the program, and sometimes struggling in the program, not with life, but in the program, it comes down to like really three things. And we have a threefold disease. We have a spiritual malady, we have a mental obsession of the mind, we have a physical allergy, and coupled with that spiritual malady. And the answer to that is a threefold solution, or a three legacy solution, and that's recovery, unity, service. Like you see the triangle, okay? You see the Alcoholics Anonymous triangle has recovery, unity, service. And so I'm talking to this guy, and he's been having a hard time, but he's been putting in the effort, going to a lot of meetings, and talking to a lot of people, but he can't seem to stay sober. And he drives an hour sometimes every morning to go to a meeting, and he's going to all these meetings and stuff, and why can't he stay sober, And I think the answer is the same thing when I was new. I kept relapsing, but I went to a lot of meetings, and I realized that meetings alone will not keep you sober. If you don't go to meetings, or if I don't go to meetings, I will get drunk. But the meetings alone will not keep you sober. The meetings is the unity part. That's the unity part of the triangle. But we that's an equilateral triangle, right? The sides are equal and the angles are equal. So when I look at that triangle, and I'm struggling in sobriety, the first thing I got to ask myself, is that triangle the number one priority in my life? Is Alcoholics Anonymous a priority in my life? And if it is, what shape is that triangle? Is it equilateral? Is it tilted? Like, am I doing just as much recovery as I am unity? Am I doing just as much recovery and unity as I am doing service? Like what does my triangle look like, right? So sometimes some guys just love to read the book, and they love to apply the principles, but they don't like to go to meetings, Or some guys love to go to meetings and even be of service, but they don't like to read. They never open up the book, and it's almost like a one or two-legged stool. It's going to fall over. Our program is like a three-legged stool. Okay, it's standing on three legs, and those legs are recovery, unity, and service. And you take one of those away, and the stool's going to fall over. And that's what happens to us if we do like mostly recovery, or should say mostly unity, which is meetings, and very little recovery and service. So for me, I have to understand recovery. I have to learn about the recovery, okay, in this book, so I can be of service to the new guy, to the unity. So recover so I can be of service to the new guy. I'm hitting all three parts of the triangle, or not just the new guy, anybody, But in somebody in Alcoholics Anonymous, the triangle is about Alcoholics Anonymous and alcoholics. It's not, you just can't go out and help anybody, even though that's good. But when they say unity in the triangle, they're talking about other alcoholics. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. So there's something in the book. I think I read it a few weeks ago or something, and it's on 561 or something. I got new glasses, John. Those were broken, so got some new. These will break soon too, no doubt. But anyway, on 561, under spiritual, under the AA tradition, on 561, it says, to those now in its fold, Alcoholics Anonymous has made the difference between misery and sobriety, and often the difference between life and death. AA can, of course, mean just as much to uncounted alcoholics not yet reached. Now, here's the important part, okay? Therefore, no society of men and women ever had a more urgent need for continuous effectiveness, okay? We're going to grow in effectiveness and understanding, that's the program, and permanent unity. We alcoholics see that we must work together and hang together, else most of us will finally die alone. So not only do we have to, work together, okay, and not only do we have to hang together, but we got to work together. Like our book really, after Bill's story, our book really starts off with that. On page 17, I won't read it all, but on page 17, it says, we're all alcoholics and we need each other. They talk about like the Titanic, how everyone, they all helped each other, the ones that survived, get in the lifeboats and all that stuff. But anyway, it says in AA, it says, unlike the feelings of the ship's passengers, however, our joy in escape from disaster does not subside as we go our individual ways. The feeling of having shared in a common peril, alcoholism, right, and what it did to us, is one element in the powerful cement which binds us. It's an element, it's very important, okay? But that in itself would never have held us together as we are now joined. The tremendous fact for every one of us is that we have discovered a common solution, okay? And that's really the triangle. It's not just the steps, it's the triangle. It's recovery, unity, and service. That's how we recover. That's the answer to our disease. We have a way out on which we can absolutely agree and upon which we can join brotherly and harmless action. This is the great news this book carries to those who suffer from alcoholism. So not only do we got to stick together and hang together, but we got to work together, which is we got to work the steps together. We found a common solution, and that common solution is the steps, and being of service, to the unity, right? It's the triangle. And you just can't do recovery and not unity. You can't just do unity and not recovery and service. You got to look. See, if you're struggling, like I told my friend, you got to look at the triangle. And if you have no problem going to meetings, maybe not even focus on that. Focus on, am I reading the book with a new guy? Or am I in the book at all? Am I applying these principles? Am I doing what it says when I wake up in the morning upon awakening? Am I doing what it says when I retire at night? As I go through my day, am I continuously taking an inventory? When I'm in fear or in resentments, am I going to the solution in the book? Am I doing these things? Because this is how we recover, right? So it's got to be an equilateral triangle. The triangle is very important. And we basically, I'll say it again, we've got to be doing just as much recovery as we are unity, and just as much unity as we are service. And some people wonder why they relapse so much because they go to so many meetings. But the meetings alone is not how you get spiritually fit. The meetings are important. And I use the meetings personally. Sometimes you'll hear things in meetings that have nothing to do with alcoholism, and sometimes you'll hear things in meetings that are actually the opposite of what the book is saying. So you can't really trust the meetings for recovery. But if you want to hit all three parts of the triangle at a meeting, this is what I suggest. You get a commitment, like secretary or treasurer, at a book study or a 12-step study. And you're hitting all three parts of the triangle. You got your unity, because you're in there with other alcoholics. You're in a meeting. You're talking about recovery because it's a book study, and you're being of service because you got a commitment at that meeting. So you can hit all three parts of the triangle at an AA meeting if you take a commitment at a book study. That would do it right there. But the discussion meetings alone is not necessarily is not how we get spiritually fit. We get spiritually fit by applying these principles that are in this book, and we got to keep that triangle an equilateral triangle. We can't be doing all unity and no recovery, and we got to be doing service. So we got to do recovery, service, unity. Very important. That's the answer to the disease of alcoholism. You know, that's the cure. So I hope this helps somebody that might be struggling. You know, just have a look at the triangle and see if there's something missing. You know, am I doing am I leaving something out? You know, and I think that could help. So hopefully this helps somebody. Kind of a long video, but an important one. You know, because this is how we recover. You know, so the AA triangle is very important, and that's what I focus on. And that's what I've been focusing on for 20 years, and it seems to work pretty good. So hope everybody has a good day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, guys, love you all.